Hi, welcome back to Coffee with the Coach. I'm so glad you could join me today. I decided to share a little bit of my quirkiness this time. I have a hobby of collecting mugs. Some of them are inspirational, some of them are meaningful, and some of them are just funny. This one happened to be one I gave to Jeff for Christmas last year. He loves his job, but work was getting a little bit stressful. And so I saw this mug and it seemed perfect. It says, "I'm not feeling very worky today." So when he starts his day thinking he knows exactly what's on his agenda and then finds a flurry of emails from corporate that changes plans for the day, instead of feeling stressed, he just takes a look at his cup, gives a little laugh, and rolls with it. And that's the power of reaction versus response. So what is the difference here? When you react, it's kind of automatic and it's triggered by some kind of stimuli. So if I were to use Jeff for an example, these emails that are changing the course of his day could just trigger a reaction of, "God damn it, I had my day all planned out." But instead, he responds. He stops and he thinks, okay, I need to reorganize my day and make this happen. And what he's doing is giving himself a chance to let his nervous system get out of the picture for a second so he can think. Thinking is the critical part here. Thinking about how much he values his job and how much pride he takes in doing that job well. So we can probably call response considered action. And reaction is something that's triggered automatically, something that we don't mitigate, we don't interfere with, and we don't choose. It just happens. Which is better? Well, that depends on the circumstance. Imagine for a minute that you've gotten up during the night and you're walking through the dark toward the bathroom and stub your toe on a piece of furniture. I think that's a pretty common occurrence, and the reaction is usually pretty similar. An expression of pain, checking on the injury, getting to the bathroom and turning on the light so you can see how much damage you've done. Reaction is pretty common when our physical well-being is at stake. Another example would be when you're cooking a meal and you accidentally reach for a pot that's still hot, but you forget the pot holder. Well, that's really working in our favor when our reaction is to immediately let go of what's burning our skin. So reaction isn't in itself a bad thing. There are other circumstances too. You're driving along. Out of nowhere, an adorable little boy runs into the street chasing his ball. Are you going to stop, think about this, consider, what would be my best course of action? No, of course not. You're going to slam on the brakes. You're going to save the child's life. You're going to think about the repercussions later. Maybe your airbag went off. Maybe someone rear-ended you as a result, but you saved a life. You did the right thing because you reacted under the proper circumstances. So, as you can see, some situations are really clear-cut, but as in most things in life, others are not, and emotions are one of them. Imagine this example. Your significant other walks up to you and says, I've been having some problems and I'm starting to think this relationship isn't working, and I wonder if, we should maybe consider separating. What do? You could throw something. You could have a tantrum. You could argue. But if you take a second and stop, and instead of acting based on your initial feeling, whether that's anger, fear, loss, and really think about the end result that you're looking for, it's easier to choose how to respond in a way that helps ensure a better outcome for everybody. So, for example, pause, take a deep breath. I didn't know you felt this way. Can we talk? That's sincere. It opens the door for a mutually acceptable solution, some compromise, possibly even saving the relationship, because you took that second to consider instead of reacting. So you can kind of think of reaction versus response in terms of cause and effect. Your partner does not create your reaction. The person speaking to you, or whatever the situation is, that is a circumstance. It is not the cause. You feel something in regard to the circumstance you're presented with. That is the cause. And the choice you make about how you counter that is the effect. Do you see the difference here? Someone doesn't make you mad or hurt your feelings or make you angry or irrational. Your feelings about the circumstances create those emotions. So when you take the time to consider how you want to respond, it allows you to realize that your initial feelings aren't what need to be addressed. The circumstances are what need to be addressed. And based on the result you may want, that helps inform the kind of decision you need to make about how you would like to respond. Now, your response creates a whole new set of circumstances to which the other person will either react or respond. When you look at it as this kind of cycle, it's easy to see how when we're talking about something that's very emotionally charged or where there's a lot at stake, that it's really easy to get caught up in the argument rather than the circumstances and the solution. So think about this a bit, see how it applies to your life, and start giving yourself an opportunity to just take a pause, take a breath, and think about the outcome you want. And choose your actions based on that. This is just a tip based on my own lived experience, a lot of things I've seen, and circumstances that many of my coaching clients have brought to me. And by learning how to communicate in this way, better outcomes result. All right, if you're getting anything out of this podcast, please be sure to hit the subscribe button below, turn on your notifications, and tune in next week when we will bring you more information on how to deal with life, the little, the big, the messy, and everything in between. I'm Dawn Williams. Thanks for watching.